please welcome to the stage, Lizzy Nichol.
Thank you. It's winter, 1944, and two prisoners of war, Ted and Bert, are marching through frozen Czechoslovakia. They have no idea where they're going. They have no idea whether they'll get there. There is snow on the ground. But tonight, on this night, there's a barn for them to sleep in. Hay and straw to keep them warm. And that is when Ted and Bert decide they're going to escape. They wait for a guard to pass the door, and ever so casually, they leg it out of the barn, across the frozen fields, and in the distance, they see a building with a light. Well, it's only port in a storm, Bert, says Ted. Let's see if we can get some food. So they go up to the barn and they knock on the door. An elderly woman answers. Now, Ted speaks German and she only speaks Czech, but eventually they manage to make themselves understood. They're hungry. Ah, she understands. Come in, she beckons them in. They follow her down a long corridor, and at the end is a kitchen. And on the kitchen table are vegetables, potatoes, and meat. More food than these starving POWs have seen in a long time. And sitting at that table are three enemy officers in uniform. Back up, back up. They are falling over each other to try and reverse back out of the room, but it's too late. One of the officers stands up. Halt. Sit. They sit down with the officers and they share a meal. And they talk about how fed up they are with the war. And after an ersatz coffee, they stand up to go, they thank their hosts, they wish them good luck, and they go back to the barn. And that's when they see, at one end of the barn is a door, and it's locked, and it leads to the second floor. Bert happens to have a set of keys on him. He tries them in the lock, and one of them fits. They go through the door, lock it behind them, go up the stairs, and they spend the night alone on the second floor. When the prisoners are rounded up and marched out the morning after, they stay behind. Now that would be the first of 3 escapes that Ted would tell me about during his war years. Ted was my grandfather, and it was on the advice of my dad that I sat down with him years ago and I listened to his memories about the war. And I have to say, more than the unpredictable encounters that he told me about, what stuck with me was the unpredictable way that he told them. He mentioned men falling by the wayside. He described when he was recaptured by the Gestapo, well, they tortured me a bit, you know. He told me about having to be weaned back onto solid food after months and months of starvation because, you know, it gives you a bit of a jippy tummy. He started so many sentences with, well, it's quite funny really, and so many times he ended them with, well, I don't know, love, is this even interesting to you? He chuckled a lot, as if he was recalling tales of childhood mischief, as if it was nothing. There was no anger, no bitterness, no resentment. Now, the author Haruki Murakami says that there are some things that can never be consigned to oblivion. There are some memories that can never fade away. Now, I have trouble remembering what I was doing this time last year, but I filled 20 pages with my grandpa's memories of the war. And like I said, there was no recriminations, there was no anger. Most definitely his memories could not be rubbed away, but the emotions had faded. And as someone that lives pretty far out of my comfort zone these days, I mean, here I am, it is empowering and enlightening for me to think that in 60 years' time, I might be sitting talking to my grandchildren about my stories of courage. And the stuff that scares the shit out of me now is not going to scare me anymore. the anxiety, the fear, the passion, the love, the depression, everything that we feel now, in 60 years' time, it won't be there. They'll just be stories. So feel your feelings while they're here. Enjoy them while they're here. And like Ted, dare to do the unpredictable. Thank you.
Thank you, Lizzy.